Joan McAlpine, to be followed by John Wilson. Up to 5 minutes, please.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. This is exactly the sort of matter that this Parliament should be debating, and it's of testament to the committee in bringing it to the Chamber. I'm naturally inclined to support a register of judges' interests. I understand the need to enshrine the independence of the judiciary, and I understand Lord Gill's decision to decline the committee's invitation, while it understandably drew criticism. On the other hand, one could argue that the judiciary should not be subject to political pressure. However, I would tend to agree with Jackson Carlaw that he should have come in this instance to argue his case, to show that the judiciary was not seen as a law unto itself. Yes.
Stewart.
Does the member share my view that, on one level, there is nothing new about this, because prior to 2009, law lords had to declare an interest if they were members of the House of Lords? So in some senses, we're asking for a reintroduction of something that used to exist and was well established in Scots law.
Yes, I would agree that's a fair point. Perhaps it's because I'm a former journalist that I naturally lean towards increased transparency in all areas of public life. The committee convener outlined that very well in his opening remarks. I do take great pride in the fact that there is more transparency in this Parliament, for example, than there is in Westminster. No, thank you. However, I have considered the safeguards outlined today by ministers, in particular the judicial oath, which I'm sure all our judges take very seriously indeed. I would pass comment that I don't think many members of the public know about the judicial oath or what it entails. And I would be interested to know more about the process which kicks in if someone is suspected of breaking the judicial oath. Has that ever happened, and what are the consequences? I've also read the Lord President's letter to David Stewart, MSP, with great interest. I wasn't particularly convinced by the passage on practical considerations in which he suggests that it would not be possible to identify all the interests, which the subtext seemed to be it was a bit of a hassle. Well, yes, it is a bit of a hassle. It's probably a bit of a hassle for us as well, but it's something that's got to be done. I was more swayed by the passage on unintended consequences, where the Lord President says consideration requires to be given to judges' privacy and freedom from harassment and aggressive media or hostile individuals, including dissatisfied litigants. It is possible that the information held in such a register could be abused, and these are significant concerns. If publicly criticised or attacked, the judicial office holder cannot publicly defend himself or herself, unlike a politician. I thought that was actually quite a fair comment. But going forward, I don't think that the matter of a register of judges' interests is going to disappear. We have already seen the progress that's being made here and in New Zealand as a result of the debate being opened up, even though that's short of establishing a register. I would say that it's very important that all national institutions continue to revise their procedures in order to retain public confidence. And it's very easy, if they don't do that, to see how public confidence can be lost. The Westminster Parliament expenses scandal blew up precisely because of a lack of transparency in that system. There was a belief, as I recall, that if MPs, were completely transparent in what they claimed, it would somehow open them up to too much scrutiny, and that was a bad thing. And in the end, they really came a cropper by doing that. And similarly, in Westminster, the claims of historic child abuse by powerful establishment figures and how that may or may not have been dealt with by the authorities at the time surely demonstrates that the way things were done 30 years ago is not the way we should do things now. So I very much hope the Lord President is paying attention to this debate. And in that point I made earlier, in terms that we have to move with the times, is a recurring feature of tabloid newspapers to draw attention to the fact of judges who don't move with the times. And one particularly famous incident was in a court case down south when the footballer Paul Gascoigne was taking someone who had written an unauthorised biography to court. The judge clearly had no idea who Paul Gascoigne was, and his lawyer had to explain that he was a very famous footballer, and the judge replied, "Rugby or association." So I would very gently suggest to the Lord President, and whose gift this is, we can't legislate for it in this Parliament, that he should perhaps be mindful of the need for the judiciary to move with the times with every other public institution in order to retain the confidence of the public. Thank you very much.
Thank you.